Harry, this is Large Potato, and this is What If Naruto was the reincarnation of Karma Akabane? Akab- God, I'm gonna fuck up his last name every fucking time. But yes, this is not the special of, well, the 1.5k. No, I already have that. I just put down the poll to actually see how many people actually want that. But yeah, no, it's not the 1k.5. This is still the what's called what if Naruto was Karma? Well, that is still the 800 special. And I think I did this at, was it 800 or was it something else? No, it's definitely 800. But yeah, let's see. Okay. So let me do a recap on what happened last time because I did this what if about 4 months ago, or was it 3 months? I can't count. So, let me begin. Now, okay. So we're gonna do on a recap. What's called Naruto, of course, is born. Of course, he also has a brother named Memma. Memma has blonde hair and whisker marks, while Naruto has red hair and also whisker marks. Now, they are both Namikaze and Uzumaki. It's just Naruto is the reincarnation of, well, Karma. Now, of course, Naruto has the brilliant mind of Karma and all that, but also having a very lazy attitude. And it's sort of a psychopathic way of, like, Karma and all that. He also found, well, not found a sword. He actually killed a civilian for a red Reaper sword. So this was the Red Reaper that he got. This one right here. These two other ones are actually going to be something else. Well, I mean, those are actually going to be the sword, true forms, or different forms of the sword. Now, yes, the sword is going to have different forms. Now, the sword, I should mention what it can do. The sword can cut through Genjutsu, can also cut through, well, it can erase and cut through Genjutsu, Jutsu, Funjutsu, not Taijutsu. Taijutsu is basically just you kicking, fighting, and all that. Not really using any chakra, unless you're Tsunade. But yeah, you're also cutting through that Tsunade's chakra and all. But yeah. But with that happening, that's the sword's, what's called physibilities and all that. Like, not physibility, but abilities. It can also do other things, but I should mention that later. Naruto used this to actually kill a bunch of civilians and also did punch the civilian into, well, the wall, the person that actually had the original sword. It was actually a katana, but when Naruto grabbed it, it actually turned into a Red Reaper. Now, of course, it was sort of, well, white. It was a white sword before he sliced through multiple 5 Genins, 4 Chunins, and also 1 Jonin. The sword turned, well, crimson, kind of red and all that. Stayed red for a while. Well, not a while, forever. But yeah. And with that happening, Naruto used this as his primary weapon. All the time. Now, of course, this is when they were 8 years old. Also, they also managed to, what's called, Naruto went to the Hokage. They kind of found some root ambus, and Naruto did kill the root ambus. Which also meaning to, what's called, having evidence for Danzo. Danzo says denied everything, but then finding that they do have evidence. Danzo tried to fight against Hiruzen. Naruto was the one to kill Danzo. And of course, Memma did go into a 3 tails cloak with the Yin Kurama. Now, Naruto has the Yin Kurama. Memma has the Yin Kurama. Of course, the Yin Kurama actually likes Naruto because Naruto doesn't care that much and kills anything he wants. With that happening, we go into, well, I'm gonna do sort of. Well, they did kill a bunch of root ambus and blah blah blah, and also wrestle. Now, we go into the academy. Well, we went into the academy. Of course, Naruto, what's it called, 4-year time skip, making Naruto 12 years old, and also being on a team called Team 7. Team 7 contains of Sasuke. Sasuke in this one is not emo. And of course, Menma. Menma and Sasuke are actually good friends. And Naruto. And, well, the 4th team is someone named Selena. Not Selena. Sarina Hyuga Uchiha. she's basically a mixture of both Hyuga Uchiha. Now, she's the one who likes Naruto. And Naruto likes actually just annoying her half the time. But yeah. So, that's where I kind of left that off when they were talking in the team, so blah blah blah. And it was what's it called? Genin test. Now, let me begin on the Genin test. Now, Naruto, he is right now just kind of walking out of his apartment. And his apartment is a very nice apartment. Also, Menma lives in it because they're brothers. Because Hiruzen has to keep them kind of far away from civilians. Yeah. Because Naruto would kill them, and, well, Menma would try to, well, not try, will try, well, let me say that again. He would, well, he won't fight back, so he would get beaten up. But if Naruto sees his brother get beaten up, he's killing a lot of civilians. So yeah, they're kind of keeping far away. But of course, they have him in the nice apartments. Instead of having the old crappy apartments and all that. Now, they don't. Of course, they can go to the Uchiha compound and all that. Now, Naruto, he is kind of getting out of his apartments way earlier. And Menma is still sleeping in. And of course, Naruto did put an alarm clock kind of near Menma, so Menma would wake up. Naruto doesn't want to bother Menma. Now, of course, he's going to the training ground way earlier than anyone else. Now, of course, Sasuke didn't wake up neither, because, yeah. I mean, even though Kakashi told him to wake up at, like, the Pacific time. But yeah, Kakashi wasn't there neither. Now, when Naruto gets there, he actually is about to start training. Of course, he still has his sword on him. Now, the sword where he has it is sort of on his back and all that. Because it's way easier for him to carry and all that. Now, yeah. Of course, Naruto also hears someone coming. When Naruto was about to, like, start training with his sword, he saw Sairina kind of come in, and Sairina says, "Oh, hey, Naruto." And Naruto says, "Sairina, why are you here?" And of course, Sairina said, "Well, I just came here to, well, train. I didn't know you were actually going to be here." Naruto says, "I mean, you can train with me if you want." Sairina said, no, it's fine. So Sairina goes, and, now, I should mention one thing about Sairina. Sairina does not have the caged bird. Even though she's a Hyuga, the Uchihas refuse for what's called the elders of the Hyuga to put a caged bird on an Uchiha. So, of course, the elders did try, but the Uchihas kicked their asses 6-way on a damn Sunday. And Hiruzen also refused to put a cage bird on Sairina. So, of course, that happens. So, with that happening, the elders can't do anything at all. Because they have no power in the Hyuga no more. After the little also incident of, well, Naruto also put in a rule on the Hyuga, what's called, leader must, well, the clan head leader must only have the power. And also side branches and all that. No more of that, like, main branch bullshit. But yeah. So, Neji on this one, he does not have his father no more. So yeah. Of course, he doesn't hate, well, I mean, he still hates Hinata. But he doesn't hate Sairina. Even though she's a Hyuga, but she doesn't have the cage bird. Because Sairina is basically an Uchiha. An Uchiha Hyuga. But yeah. And Sairina's mother is actually a Hyuga, and her father's an Uchiha, but he died during sort of a battle. So yeah. Now, of course, Naruto is just, well, training with her. Well, somewhat training. She's just using her Byakugan. So she only has one eye that actually can turn into a Byakugan, while her other eye is supposed to have the Sharingan. And she does have the Sharingan, only a 1-to-1. And starts fighting against, well, Naruto. Using the gentle fist, like a kind of broken gentle fist, because she isn't trained as well as like the main branch, blah blah blah, but she is still kind of training it by her mother. And of course, trying to attack Naruto, and Naruto is easily dodging all her attacks. And of course, when Naruto uses his sword to swing at her, she uses a kunai to block it with her Sharingan, because her Sharingan allows her to see the movement from a slow motion away. And of course, she's training, and of course, Naruto kicks her in the stomach, but of course she managed to dodge it. And of course she's like breathing hard, and Naruto's barely even winded. He's like, "Are you okay?" And she says, so of course with that happening, she's like, "How you not tired?" And Naruto's like, "I'm not tired because I'm not tired. I'm an Uzumaki. You forget that, right? Do you forget that? Because Uzumakis have a lot of energy." And she's like, "This is bullshit." And of course Naruto says, "I think you should train more." And she says, "I train every day. How the She's like so angry at Naruto that she actually decides to start throwing so many shurikens shurikens and kunes at Naruto. Naruto, he dodges some of them. He also uses Red Reaper to like slice through them pretty easily. And of course, when he's slicing through them pretty easily, he doesn't notice Sarina already being behind him. And of course, he tries to kick behind him, and of course, he gets kicked in the stomach. Of course, Naruto lets down on his guard because Karma somewhat lets down his guard somewhat, but he always has a plan on it. So of course, Naruto, he only looked like he let down his guard, but of course, when of course he gets kicked in the stomach, he doesn't go what's it called backwards. He does go back. He gets kicked back, but of course he grabs Sarina's leg and of course pulls her towards him. And of course, what he does is basically just tries to like neck chop her. Now, of course, she managed to just dive down fully, and of course, her like arm gets scraping on, and tries to kick at Naruto. Naruto dodges and says, "Well, you're actually pretty good at doing that. Well, doing reckless things." And she says, "Oh yeah, you're the one to talk to, huh?" Well, not the one. Bleh. She says, "Oh yeah, you're the one to talk about this shit. Look at you. You get damaged pretty easily and not care about anything." Naruto says, "Oh yeah, that is true. That is true." Of course, the kunai almost hits his like head, and he manages to dodges it. And of course, Naruto just like rushes at her. Of course, he put back his Red Reaper into his back and starts fighting her in taijutsu. So kicks at her. She manages to like block it, and then she tries to use Gentle Fist to like hit him in a pressure point. Naruto managed to grab both of her hands so she couldn't do anything. And then she had, one idea to kneel him and in the, grunt. Of course, Naruto noticed this and of course he blocks it with his one leg. Or one of his legs. And of course, Sarina says, "Damn it." And Naruto says, "That's a little cheeky move, don't you think?" And of course she says, "Well, ninjas don't have any rules to play with." And Naruto says, "Oh, really? Okay." So of course, what Naruto does is like bring her closer and like hugs her, just teasing her. And of course, she's like blushing harder than not harder. She's blushing crazily, like what's called. Her face is fully red. It's just like Kushina's, or at this case, Naruto's, because Naruto does have red hair. And Naruto says, "So, how are you?" And of course, she just pushes him away and says, This is where Menma and Sasuke gets there, and they say, "Ah." And of course, Menma is still tired, and also Sasuke, they're like, "Ugh." Of course, Sasuke and Menma did eat because they didn't care. Naruto also did eat, and of course, Sarina also ate because they already know what a ninja is really meant to be. Now, of course, this is where Sasuke and Menma kind of just sit down a tree and start sleeping. And Naruto says, "Shh, you don't really want to wake them both up, don't you?" And Sarina just like looks away and says, "Yeah, right, bastard." Naruto smiles and says, "Why am I a bastard then?" And she says, "Fuck off." And of course, Naruto says, "Whatever." So of course, Kakashi takes fucking forever again. And Naruto says, "Hey, Sarina, you wanna make traps for what's called Kakashi Hatake?" And she says, "What kind of traps?" You realize that this test is gonna be something about teamwork or something. And better work together to make traps all around so he can probably fall in one. That asshole's taking forever though. And of course she thinks about it and she nods and says, "Okay, let's do it." So of course they both like go into the forest and starts like digging up their own traps using jutsu and all that. Now of course Naruto, in one of his traps, he makes mud spikes. Like it's just it's a hole but cover, like the hole is covered and all that. And of course if Kakashi falls, he's falling into mud spikes. Now, of course, he's doing that a lot around, also setting up traps and all that. And of course, Kakashi, when he gets there, he sees Menma and what's it called, Menma and Sasuke just laying there sleeping. And then he looks for both Sarina and also, well, Naruto. And of course, they came out of the forest, and of course, Kakashi thinks of a dirty thought and says, hold up, what the hell did they do? Naruto notices, and he just looks at Kakashi, says, what are you thinking about, Kakashi-sensei? Kakashi says, oh, nothing. What? No, I'm not thinking about anything. Naruto says, okay, whatever, Kakashi. So, yeah. Okay, well, I gotta do something first. So, let me continue on. Kakashi is just, well, saying, okay, all four of you, begin the bell test. So, of course, they all begin, and they all kind of jump separate, and Kakashi says, oh, well, they're not going to do teamwork. Really, they all meet up in one specific place and all that. And, of course, Irina did tell Sasuke about it's about teamwork, and, of course, Naruto told Menma it's about teamwork, and, of course, they all work together. So, of course, Kakashi's like wondering, what are they going to do? This is where Naruto jumps out into, well, the playing field. And of course, Naruto pulls out his sword and says, get ready, Kakashi. And Kakashi says, okay, Naruto, you're a little cocky, don't you think? Naruto rushes at Kakashi with blinding speed, and of course, Kakashi had to substitute real quick. Because he isn't trying to get slashed. Of course, the log gets cut in half, and Kakashi says, whew, that was lucky of me. And then the tree, well, the little branch that he was sitting on, breaks. He's like, wait, hold up, did I... Nope, he didn't, like, break it on accident or overweight and all that. No, the branch was, like, kind of a little cut. That was because, well, there was a log on that branch for a reason why he substituted to that branch. Because there was a log specifically on that branch for no reason, but it was a trap. They were waiting for Kakashi to substitute. They put a bunch of random logs around the whole, what's called, forest. And some of the logs are just traps, so if Kakashi really just picked this random log, he's fucked. So, of course, he's like, well, I'm sick. Ah, shit, you can't be serious, this was a trap? Kakashi's about to fall until, well, he tries to use a kunai and some ninja wire to, like, stick into a tree. Of course, he managed to do it. And this is where Sasuke says, fire style, fireball jutsu. And Kakashi says, ah, shit. He gets smashed into, well, more into what's called the ground. And of course, he's going towards some, well, mud spikes. He's like, oh shit, those are mud spikes. Substitution. He substitution to somewhere where there's another log. And of course, the log gets pierced into multiple spikes. Now, Kakashi is saying, these kids are too smart for me. This is where Menma comes out of nowhere and says water style. Well, not water style. Wind style. Wind vortex. And like shoots a wind vortex at what's called Kakashi. Kakashi's ran out running. This is where he was trying to like run behind a tree. He was like, that's it. I just hide my chakra away. This is where when he turns to that tree to hide. This is where Sarina was already there. And she says gentle fist style. 8 trigram. Uncompleted style. And, well, what's called, 8 trigram. 8 trigram. Well, not 128. 32, 32, pressure point, attack. Of course, Kakashi managed to get, like, hit by 32 points and all that, because it's not 64. She has it very uncompleted. Because her mother is the one to teach her. And her mother was not really of a ninja type, but she was still strong enough. So, of course, Kakashi says, shit, she knocked out a lot of my freaking pressure points, my chakra points. This is where Naruto comes out of nowhere and says, hello, Kakashi. Tries to slice at him with his sword and all that. And, of course, Kakashi says, damn it, Chidori. Of course, when he realized one thing, Kakashi fucked up. The sword can cut through anything. So, when he did Chidori, the Chidori fucking disappeared. Because when it gets near the sword and Naruto's slicing at him, the chakra disappears. It's like anti-chakra a little bit, but not anti-chakra, anti-magic a little bit. It kind of, well, makes it disappear and all. It cuts that shit. But not really. The sword just has a special ability to do it. And Kakashi says, oh, fuck. So he tries to, well, jump back. This is where, Sarena's right now behind Kakashi. And, well, he, like, said, what the? And gets kicked in the back, pushing him forward near Naruto, slicing the, well, at him. Of course, Kakashi gets sliced at his torso and all that. And just says, God damn it. Of course, he tries to jump upwards. This is where Sasuke comes down and says, not Lion Barrage, Tiger, well, what's it called? Not Tiger. Let me say that again. Tiger Axe Kick. And where he, like, Axe kicks what's called Kakashi back down. And Kakashi goes, oh, shit. And, of course, he was like, damn it. This is where, what's called, Menma managed to get what's called the bells, and Kakashi was shocked. This is where Selena managed to just use her 8 trigram 32 pound chakra points and to knock in the other half of the chakra points from Kakashi. This is where Naruto comes down and just says, Divine Slash, a Red Reaper style. And of course Kakashi gets slashed again in his like chest. Well, not chest, his back. And of course he's coughing up blood. And this is where Sasuke says, Fireball Jutsu. Well, not Fireball Jutsu. Flower Jutsu. Shoots multiple fire bullets at what's it called, Kakashi. Kakashi gets hit by only 2 of them. This is where Menma uses his wind vacuum. And shoots a wind vacuum at Kakashi. Kakashi gets hit into a tree and smashes into a tree. Now, Kakashi is knocked the fuck out. He is cold. He is knocked the fuck out cold. Now, since that is happening, well, Kakashi is in the hospital. We go in 30 minutes later. He's in the hospital because they had to bring him to the hospital. So yeah, the nurse did try to kick out Naruto, but Naruto says, if you try to kick me out, I'm cutting your head off. And there's no way any of the doctors are going to put that shit back. So yeah, the nurse kind of shut the fuck up. So yeah, Naruto is just, well, like, wondering when Kakashi's going to wake up. So all of them are waiting. Kakashi wakes up and says, what happened? They all got the bells. They broke the bells into, well, there's 2 of them into 4s. So yeah. Since that happened, Kakashi says, you all pass. God, why did they pick me a team that's about to kill me? No, that's bad. Seems like all of you can work together, Kakashi says. So about 2 weeks, we'll go into ranked missions. But, well, not ranked mission, D-ranked missions. But, I gotta rest up and, well, heal, you motherfuckers. So, of course, they all leave, cheer, and all that. So, Menma and, well, Sasuke goes towards what's called the Uchiha compound to, like, celebrate and all that. And Menma did ask Naruto if he wanted to go. Naruto says, oh, no. I will, like, go there. Menma says, okay. And, of course, Menma did ask Sarina, and Sarina says, I might not go. Oh, no. And, of course, Menma says, please. And she says, fine. Of course, Menma's happy, and of course he leaves with Sasuke and all that to go tell Itachi the good news and all that. So yeah, with that happening, Sarina's just saying, why do I have to go? Naruto says, why not? And Naruto smiles, kind of like, sort of mischievous and all that. And she says, what is with that smile? What? You don't like me smiling? And she says, fuck off. God, can't you be kind of normal and all that? Naruto says, explain normal. She's like, why did I even ask? Why did I even bother? Naruto smiles and just laughs. Oh, come on. I'm just kidding. And of course she says, are you really kidding? Are you sure? Because I feel like you're not. Naruto says, yeah, you know me too well. And of course she's like, whatever. So, of course, they kind of just walk around. Of course, this is where Naruto kind of just takes her to like a barbecue place and all, and starts eating. This is where they kind of see Choji, Shikamaru, and Ino, and even Asuma. And Asuma says, "So, well, not Asuma. It was what's it called? No, it was Asuma. Well, not Asuma. Asuma doesn't know about Naruto and Menma being the new grandsons of Hiruzen. Not really, but yeah. Of course, this is where Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji saw what's called Naruto and Sarina. And, well, with Ino trying to be nosy and all that. With Ino being nosy, she kind of goes up to them and says, "So, are you two on a date?" This is where Sarina says no, and she blushes red as, Naruto's hair. And Naruto says, "Yes." And of course, Naruto says, "No, not really. This is just a friendly congratulations. We actually defeated Kakashi to pass." Naruto said, so blankly. And Ino says, damn it." And of course, Shino and Choji say, "So, you actually passed your getting test and all?" And Naruto says, "Yeah, it was such a drag about doing it." And of course, Asuma goes, "God, why is there another Naruto here?" And of course, Shikamaru looks at him and says, "I will complain, but it's too much of a drag." Yeah. And of course, Selena and Ino just gets annoyed with them kind of just saying it's too much of a drag. Choji's over here just munching on some like barbecue and all. And of course, this is where Naruto says, "You want to play some shogi?" And Shikamaru says, "Yeah." But at the same time, it'd be too much of a drag, they both said. And of course, this is where Ino gets annoyed and punches Shikamaru in the head. And of course, this is where Sarina also punches Naruto in the head. And well, Sarina decides to pull Naruto away from Shikamaru because they both get kind of, not both get annoying, but they both kind of just become lazy. And of course, Sarina says, "God damn it, Naruto. You realize we gotta get to Menma's, sort of congratulation party that we pass." And of course, Naruto's like, "Oh yeah. Wait, you actually going?" And Sarina said, yes, I am going." Naruto sees. Because Naruto in this one is not love dance. He knows what love is. Because what's it called? Karma isn't that much love dance neither. Because in the anime, if I can remember this right, he did try to make the blue haired kid can go out with the green haired girl. I don't remember both the names, but I can only remember Karma because it's Karma. Yeah. Now, of course, she's thinking, she was like, "Okay, well, I gotta stay cool." Now, I should also mention that Sarina's hair is actually blue and sort of black, and she does have highlights of red and all that. So yeah, but it's sort of a light color of red, not a dark crimson color of red of like Naruto's, or what it looks like right here. So yeah, Naruto is just walking towards the Uchiha compound, and when they get there, they see the party and all that. And of course, Itachi's celebrating with Sasuke and Menma, and of course, is where Mikoto goes up to both Naruto and Sarina and says, "Wow, congratulations, you two. Wow, you actually became." So Mikoto says, "Congratulations, you two. You became teammates, and also you two are dating, aren't you?" And this is where Sarina kind of blushes red, very red, like Naruto's hair. And of course, she just walks away and says, "No, we're not," she screams out. And of course, Naruto says, "Well, thanks, Mikoto, for we became teammates. All of us, hurt Kakashi really bad, and he's in the hospital for 2 weeks." So Naruto knows some ways to change subjects pretty easily. And of course, Mikoto kind of knows this. And of course, Mikoto thought that Naruto was going to deny it, but Naruto's too much, not really caring that much. But yeah, he just loved teasing Sarina a lot. And of course, Mikoto says, "So, are you really two dating?" And of course, Sarina's still kind of having her ears, putting chocolate into her ears, kind of hearing. And Naruto says, "She's probably hearing us, so I'm gonna say yes." and Sarina spits out her water. Of course, spits onto another Uchiha, and he's like, "Hey, what the hell?" He walks away because he's not trying to fight against Sarina because he knows that Sarina is an Uchiha Hyuga. So yeah, he's like, "No thanks." He walks away. Never mind. And of course, Sarina says, "No, we're not." And of course, Makoto is like kind of giggling and all that, and Naruto's also laughing and all that. And also the Nine Tails is just laughing because this is just the funniest shit ever. Because now he just thinks that Naruto can actually just make this a lot better for him. Just the funniest thing to do. Because Naruto is such a big troll body. But yeah. Then that is happening. Naruto is now just celebrating the party, and the next day happens, and of course Naruto is just training. Sarina's also training with him. Mema and Sasuke are training with each other and all, because they gotta get stronger. Because Mema wants to become the Hokage, and Sasuke is willing to become the Shadow Hokage. So with that happening, we go into 2 weeks, and of course Kakashi's doing the D-rank missions with the team. But of course, he already knows that they're very powerful, but they gotta get through a bunch of D-rank missions before doing a C-rank mission. So they get through a bunch of D-rank missions, and of course, they get into a C-rank mission. Now, this C-rank mission is to go on a not on to go with Tazuna and all that, but to actually help a racer, a runner, protect a runner from some, like the other side and all that. So yeah. So we get to where, I forgot his name, but the kid, basically Abiki's younger brother, who is kind of just seeing, Kakashi in this one is not going to be with him because Kakashi has other things to do. But yeah, Harusa just sends him on because he can already see that Naruto is actually the strongest out of all of them. So yeah, he kind of puts Naruto as the team. And Naruto wonder why he's on the team. Well, the team leader that much. But yeah. Since that is happening, they get to just a restaurant, and of course they're eating and all that. This is where the runner kind of tries to flirt with Sarina, but Sarina can care less. And of course he says whatever and tries to put the bills on the Team 7 and all that. But Naruto managed to grab him and says, "Oh no you don't. Here you go. You can pay for that." And of course this is where Naruto and everyone kind of pays for their food and all that. They put it on the table and they speed out. Of course leaving the runner to pay his own food. Because Naruto noticed what he was trying to do. Yeah, Naruto isn't letting that happen. So yeah, they're just running towards what's called the place and all. And this is where Ibiki's younger brother is trying to chasing after him. So of course he's kind of running in full speed. And of course they're jumping on the trees. And Naruto notices what he's doing. Of course jumps on the road and all that and says, "Why do you think you're chasing after us?" And he says, "Because you made me pay." Naruto says, "So what? What do you want to even talk about this shit? We're going on a mission and we don't want to get annoyed by a little kid like you." And he says, "I am older than you." Naruto says, "So you really are?" "Yeah, right." Of course, Ibiki's younger brother, I can't remember his name half the time. Well, not half the time, all the time. So, of course, he kind of runs and tries to punch Naruto. Naruto grabs his fist and kind of just flips him over and smashes him into the ground, saying, "Stand down. I can sense that you have somewhat of a ninja skills. But at the same time, you running in blind is the most stupidest thing I ever seen." Naruto is a strategist, also a criticizer. If he sees you doing something stupid, he will criticize you and also show you a different path to actually fight. So yeah, Naruto says, "Whatever. Just don't get in our mission or way or whatever." "Wait, what is her name?" And of course he says, So his name is Ide, and of course Ide Abiki or something. I forget. I think it was like that. Or Morino. I think so. That was his last name, yeah. So Ide Morino. And of course Naruto says Ide Morino. Interesting. Are you one of the runners of the person? Well, Naruto mentions the client and all that, and Ide nods, and of course Naruto says, "Well, we're the ninjas, so we have to protect you." Now, of course, we might look like Genin, but we're the strongest out of almost all the other Genins. But yeah, and also the fastest. Well, I mean, I managed to catch up to you easily and defeat you. While you running in blind, it's bad enough. So, of course, I did kind of nods, and of course, I did decide to take and, well, kind of run towards what's called the, the mob boss is at. Well, not mob boss, I don't remember his name, but yeah. Naruto and the others gets there, and of course, the boss kind of tells him about that race and all. And of course, they nod, and of course, Ide is with Naruto, and Naruto's protecting him right now. And of course, this is where Sarina also kind of goes with Naruto. This is where Menma and what's called Sasuke are kind of just walking around. And this is where they see a person kind of get hurt by some, like, of the other group. The bandits of the other group or something. Not bandits, but the other, yeah, group. Army, Vendetta, whatever the fuck they're called. And of course, this is where Menma and Sasuke beat the fuck out of them. So yeah. Now, of course, they go, what's called, Naruto's kind of just walking around, and of course, there's people that are getting attacked from, like, the other group and all that. Naruto easily takes them out, so he's knocking them all out. Ide is shocked with Naruto's speed. He couldn't even keep up with Naruto's speed. Naruto just blinks out of existence and blink right in front of them and knocking them all out. So easily. They all fall down, passing out. The other group. Now, of course, we go to the race. Because I can't remember what happened. But yeah, the race is happening. And of course, this is where Ida starts running. Of course, instead of going onto a boat, he's running towards a shortcut and all that. And of course, this is where Naruto and the others nodded and all that. But Naruto actually made a shadow clone. Now, a shadow clone to do something later. But yeah, Naruto's right now running, well, kind of keeping up with Ide and all that. And of course, Naruto sees the ninjas, some rain ninjas. So these rain ninjas should have been in the tuning sense, but Naruto's going to take them out earlier. So Naruto pulls out his sword and slices their head off easily. So yeah, they could not do any chance to mess up with Ide. So of course, Ide gets a boat and all that. And of course, Naruto and the others are kind of self-see and all that. So, of course, the rain ninjas are already dead, so they don't mess with him and all. And when they get to shore, they kind of fight against the rain ninja that Ide was his old Jonin sensei, the green hair guy. And, of course, Ide says, "You're." And, of course, Ide kind of freezes up. And, of course, he was about to get hit by what's called needles and all. Naruto gets right in front of him, pulls out his sword, and decides to, well, fully uses the sword's power this time. Well, not uses the sword's power, but just cuts through all the needles. No. The power, I would talk about that later. So, of course, this is where Sasuke and the others are fighting him. And, of course, this is where Sasuke and Sarina actually managed to make a very powerful illusion looking like they all got defeated by the old sensei of Ide. So, yeah. Of course, the sensei kind of just says, "Ha! I killed them all." So he gets to what's called the place and all that. And just waits for the guy to, like, hurry up and all. Of course, Ide was shocked and all. And he's still able to run. So yeah, he doesn't have the needles or anything. So they are going towards what's called running up the stairs. Well, Ide's running up the stairs because he doesn't need to be carried. So yeah, Naruto and the others are kind of just keeping up and all. He managed to get the ball. Of course, the other guy already left and all. So, of course, the ninja sees what's called Ide is running. So Ide's old sensei says, "So you survive." Fine. He pulls out his lightning sword and was attacked Ide. This is where Naruto blocks it with his own sword. And of course he says, "You really think that sword can defeat my sword? My sword is the second Hokage's sword." Naruto says, "Interesting. I don't care." So this is where Naruto says, "If that's really your powerful sword, then I guess I have to show my true form of my sword." Well, a form of my sword. Mostly it's a true form, but yeah. This is where he says, "True form? What are you talking about?" Naruto adds chakra into the sword. The sword like turns into another sword. It just changes. Of course, the blade is still red, but it turns into such a sort of ruby red color. So it's this sword that it kind of turns into. It has like sort of a golden thorns and all that. It also has a red rose and all that. And of course, it kind of has like this effect that the roses are kind of roses petals are like falling off the sword and all that. So yeah, Naruto just says, "Bring it on, you weakling." Of course, this is where the sensei rushes and uses the lightning sword at Naruto. Naruto uses his sword and blocks the attack. Of course, this is where the second Hokage's sword easily just breaks. And he is shocked. The sensei is shocked. This is where Ide is also shocked, but of course, Ide's old sensei gets cut in half and gets killed. Of course, Naruto takes the second Hokage's sword and of course just pockets that. And yeah. And of course, Ide is shocked, and of course, Naruto says, "What are you doing? Hurry up and run." And of course, Ide nods and starts running. This is where Arina says, "So that's truly how the sword looks like." Naruto says, "Yeah." Of course, he stops adding chakra, and the swords go back to normal. It's one of the forms, because I found out there's two of them. And she just nods and says, "That is cool. So can I see the other one?" "No, we're doing a mission right now." She kind of saddens, but yeah. Of course, they managed to outrun the guy and all. And of course, the other team there tried to like say that he was cheating and all that because he had ninja help and all. Of course, this is where the the daimyo of that place and all. They come up and says, "You want them to fail because you also cheated." This is where a clone of Naruto gave a letter towards, the daimyo. The daimyo says, "I got evidence and all that. Pictures and all that," and of course, not daimyo. Wait, was it the daimyo? Yeah, the feudal lord or something, whatever his name. Kinda tells him that, yeah, there's pictures and all. And of course, the feudal lord not feudal lord. Is it feudal? What was he called again? I think it was a noble or something that gets kicked, and of course, the other side gets kicked. So yeah, the other side, Ide's like boss leader gets the territory fully forever. So yeah, they are very happy about Team 7 and all that. So what happened to Sasuke and Mema and why they weren't there to actually help him and all that? Help Naruto and all? Because they really didn't need to. What they did is actually kind of take out like half the bandits, well not bandits, the other side group from like the village, knocking them all out because they were going to terrorize the village. So yeah. So, of course, Naruto is just bowing down and saying you're welcome and all that. This is where Abiki says, "Okay, everyone, back on and blah, blah, blah." Ide says, "Abiki." Abiki says, "Who are you?" And, of course, Ide says, never mind." And, of course, Abiki smiles and all that, blah, blah, blah. That still happens. But, yeah, they get to the Leaf Village, so yeah. Now, of course, Kakashi is there, and, of course, when Team 7 gets there, they say, "What is happening?" And of course, this is where Haruzen says, "There is something happening to Asuma's team. They need what's called help." So, of course, Naruto nodded, and the others nodded. And of course, those are Team 7, and also Team Kurenai will actually be coming along to help, Team Asuma. So, yeah. But this is where I'm actually going to leave it off. Have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, potato. Because this is not the 1.5K special. Haha, no. And also I'm going to change the poll that I kind of put. So, what I'm talking about is, yeah, you wanted this, but I was already going to make it, but it's not going to be the 1K5 special. No, really, I was waiting to see if anyone would actually choose it, but not really. This what if that you want me to bring back? Well, pretty much it was just a joke. I'm not really gonna bring that many what ifs back. The what ifs I'm probably gonna bring back, I'll bring back. When I mean bring back, I mean like some what ifs that kind of left out on some parts. Just like this what if that I'm doing right now. This one gets hit my ass to sleep. I mean, yes, I should probably get my ass to sleep because I'm tired half the time. And potato, I like how two people picked that. But yeah, this one, what I mean like bring back like what if that kind of left that out of one episode or like two parts or whatever. Not like go do a remaster. So yeah, I should probably change. Well, I can't really change it. It's the only way to. Man, I wish I could edit it because I would have just put not what's called remaster it, but actually make another part of the what if. God, I should have really mentioned that. But I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'll just do a what's called a thing later. But yeah, because I don't feel like, well, I will feel like doing remasters later, but I'm not feeling like doing it right now. So yeah, that's all I wanted to mention for this. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, 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 and potato, potato. I'm gonna be doing what's called two what ifs that are actually brand new. One what if it's actually for Barto, and the other what if it's actually for what's called a what if that someone requested and actually really thought that that would be good for what's called at 1.5K what's called special. But yeah, that's all I just wanted to mention. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, and potato soup, potato, potato.